In the year 2084, humanity had reached a pinnacle of technological advancement. Among the many wonders of this era was the revolutionary discovery that allowed humans to communicate with plants. Dr. Layla Morgan, a renowned botanist, was at the forefront of this groundbreaking field. She led Project Green Voice, a global initiative dedicated to decoding and understanding plant communication. It was a dream she had harbored since childhood, growing up in the verdant forests of the Pacific Northwest, where she often felt a silent kinship with the towering trees and delicate ferns. Layla's journey to this point had been long and arduous. She had spent decades studying plant biology, neurobotany, and biocommunication. The culmination of her research was the phytophone, a device capable of translating the complex biochemical signals of plants into human language. The phytophone combined advanced neural interfaces, quantum computing, and a deep understanding of plant physiology. It was the crown jewel of Project Green Voice and represented a new frontier in human-plant interaction. The phytophone was housed in a sprawling laboratory filled with bioluminescent plants and advanced neural interfaces. The lab itself was a marvel of sustainable architecture, with walls made of living moss and solar panels integrated into the structure. The air was filled with the faint hum of machinery and the gentle rustling of leaves, creating an atmosphere of both cutting-edge technology and natural harmony. One fateful day, as Layla and her team conducted routine tests on the phytophone, they intercepted an unexpected signal. It originated from a tree in Northern California known as Methuselah, the world's oldest living organism. Methuselah was a Great Basin bristlecone pine, estimated to be over 4,800 years old. The signal was not just complex, it was distressing. The phytophone translated the intricate electrochemical pulses into a coherent message. "Help us. We are in pain. We have been for centuries." Layla's heart raced as she deciphered the message. She immediately arranged for a team to travel to the ancient tree, setting up a more advanced phytophone directly at its base. The journey to Methuselah was arduous, involving a trek through rugged terrain and careful coordination with environmental protection agencies to ensure the tree's safety. Upon arrival, Layla felt a profound sense of awe and reverence. Standing before Methuselah, she was struck by its grandeur and resilience. The tree's gnarled branches reached skyward, a testament to millennia of survival in harsh conditions. The team worked diligently to install the phytophone, ensuring minimal disturbance to the ancient tree. What they discovered over the next few days left them stunned and deeply troubled. Methuselah revealed a history of silent suffering, not just of its own, but of plant life across the globe. The ancient tree spoke of clear-cutting, pollution, climate change, and the countless ways in which human actions had caused immense pain and suffering to the botanical world. It described how plants had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations, their voices unheard, their suffering unnoticed. The communication with Methuselah was rich and detailed. The tree conveyed vivid memories of its long life, the slow encroachment of logging operations, the choking smog of industrialization, the scorching heat waves of climate change. Methuselah's perspective was one of endurance and resilience, but also of profound sadness and pain. The tree spoke of its kin, the forests, the meadows, the wetlands, all interconnected and all suffering in silence. Layla felt a profound sense of guilt and responsibility. The plants had no means to retaliate or protect themselves. They could only endure. Yet, they had developed a form of collective memory, passing down their experiences through generations. Methuselah was the spokesperson for this silent majority, pleading for recognition and change. Layla's initial reaction was one of despair. How could humanity have been so blind, so careless? She spent sleepless nights pondering the moral implications. She consulted with her closest colleagues, ethical philosophers, and even indigenous leaders who had long advocated for a harmonious relationship with nature. Despite the potential consequences, Layla felt an overwhelming duty to honour the voices that had been unheard for too long. The revelation put Layla in a difficult position. She knew that sharing this knowledge could lead to a seismic shift in human behaviour. Industries reliant on deforestation and monoculture agriculture would be uprooted. Governments might enforce stricter environmental laws. Public consciousness could shift towards a more sustainable way of living. However, she also knew that such upheaval could lead to economic instability, loss of livelihoods, and resistance from powerful entities with vested interests in maintaining the status quo. Layla decided to seek advice from various stakeholders. She organised a series of confidential meetings with environmental activists, scientists, policymakers, and business leaders. The reactions were mixed. Some were supportive, recognising the urgent need for change. Others were sceptical, concerned about the feasibility and impact of such a drastic shift. There were heated debates and passionate discussions, but no clear consensus emerged. Feeling the weight of the decision, Layla took a step back to reflect. She spent time in nature, reconnecting with the very beings she sought to protect. She walked through forests, sat by rivers, and listened to the whispers of the wind through the leaves. It was during one of these contemplative moments that she realized the core of the issue. Humanity had lost its connection to the natural world. The exploitation and suffering were symptoms of a deeper disconnection, a loss of respect and understanding. Layla knew that revealing the truth was not just about changing policies or practices. It was about rekindling a relationship, rebuilding a bond. She decided to reveal the truth, but in a way that emphasized empathy, education, and collaboration. She envisioned a global movement that would not just inform but inspire, fostering a sense of stewardship and reverence for the natural world. Layla called for a global press conference, standing before a sea of journalists, scientists, and policymakers. She explained the phytophone, the communication with Methuselah, and the suffering plants had endured. She spoke with passion and conviction, sharing Methuselah's memories and the collective pain of the botanical world. The audience was captivated, their initial skepticism giving way to a profound sense of empathy and responsibility. The world reacted with shock, disbelief, and a whirlwind of emotions. There were protests, debates, and a scramble to verify the findings. Scientists conducted independent studies, confirming the phytophone's accuracy and the authenticity of Methuselah's message. Environmental organizations rallied, using the newfound knowledge to advocate for stronger protections and more sustainable practices. As the dust settled, the world began to change. Environmental policies were re-evaluated and strengthened. Green technologies received unprecedented investment. People started to see plants not just as resources, but as living entities with their own rights and intrinsic value. The transition was neither smooth nor universally accepted, but it marked the beginning of a new era. Layla returned to Methuselah, standing beneath its ancient boughs, feeling a mixture of hope and uncertainty. She placed her hand on the rough bark, the phytophone translating a gentle, thankful hum. "Thank you, Layla," Methuselah conveyed, "for giving us a voice." As she walked away, Layla knew that the journey had just begun. Humanity had taken its first steps towards a more ethical and symbiotic relationship with nature. The voices of the plants, long ignored, now sang a hopeful song of coexistence and mutual respect, guiding humanity towards a future where all life was valued and heard. The aftermath of the revelation was complex. Industries struggled to adapt, and there was significant resistance from powerful entities with deep-rooted interests in maintaining the status quo. However, the movement gained momentum. Educational programs were developed to teach future generations about the importance of respecting and preserving plant life. communities came together to restore degraded landscapes, planting trees and nurturing local ecosystems. Layla continued her work with Project Green Voice, expanding the phytophone network to other ancient trees and diverse ecosystems. Each new connection brought more voices, more stories of suffering, resilience, and hope. The project evolved into a global collaboration, with scientists, environmentalists, and local communities working together to heal the planet. Layla's vision of rekindling humanity's connection to nature began to take root. Art, literature, and media embraced the theme, inspiring people to see the world through the eyes of plants. The concept of plant rights emerged, advocating for legal recognition and protection of plant life. International treaties were drafted, and new conservation areas were established. Layla's journey was far from over. She continued to travel, speak, and advocate, driven by the knowledge that there was still much work to be done. But she was no longer alone. A global movement had risen, united by the understanding that the fate of humanity was intertwined with the fate of the natural world. In the years that followed, the relationship between humans and plants grew stronger, more respectful, and more harmonious. The voices of the plants, once silent, now guided humanity towards a future of balance and sustainability. Layla Morgan, standing at the forefront of this transformation, knew that she had fulfilled her life's purpose. She had given a voice to the voiceless, and in doing so, had changed the world.